One of the things that I asked you before we even went on the air is, Wayne, what are people talking about right now? What can we do in the garden right now that'll make things better for us?
Well, one of the great things about being in South Texas and being into gardening and taking care of your yard is there's always something going on year-round. And now is a great time, believe it or not, it just seems crazy in this heat. Now is a great time to start planting your fall tomatoes.
Okay, so a lot of people have called in. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people have called in and said that they got such a wonderful harvest.
Yes.
That they don't want to pull out those tomato plants, even though they're kind of leggy and weird. And
yeah.
What is the difference between planting the new ones and trying to get one last tomato out of that old one?
Okay, so the thing with tomatoes, first of all, we're lucky because we can get 2 tomato crops a year. You plant them in the early spring, and then you get your, spring harvest and stuff. The thing with tomato plants is once we start having nighttime temperatures that are 70 degrees or higher, which is where we are right now, they're going to grow, they're going to flower a little bit, but they're not really going to set fruit. A few varieties will, like the little cherry tomatoes seem to produce all summer and stuff. But most of your tomato varieties, once we start having the warmer nighttime temperatures, are not going to produce tomatoes for you. So you get these big burly plants.
Yeah.
Okay, so, people, real tomato enthusiasts, are going to go ahead and pull out those spring tomatoes, and then you want to plant your fall tomatoes. So here's the principle behind that. So you want to get them in right now, which seems kind of crazy. Plant these little bitty tomatoes in this, high heat right now. Oh, my goodness. But what you want to do is you want to get them in the ground now, get them up, get them growing and stuff. Are they going to produce tomatoes for you? No, not at the moment. But once we start sliding into fall and the nighttime temperatures drop back down a little bit, that's when they're going to flower and set fruit, and that's when you're going to get your fall tomatoes. And gosh, you can get tomatoes up until, Christmas sometimes, depending on when we have early freezes and whatnot.
And what are your thoughts about seeds versus little plants?
Seeds are a good way to go. That's one of your more traditional ways to start tomatoes. I would say it's a little bit more time-consuming, and there's a little bit more effort involved there. I would say probably my biggest portion of my customers, they like to plant transplants. With transplants, you're going to be kind of more guaranteed success with them. Another thing with tomatoes, and there's lots of different styles of planting tomatoes, but that's one thing that you want to plant deep. And what I mean by that is most plants that you buy in containers and stuff, normally you want to plant them even with the soil that's in the container.